E3 2016, I was fortunate enough to sit down and play Breath of the Wild a whopping 6.5 times. Each session took up 35 minutes across 2 different demos, but needless to say there was a lot to see and do. There was even more unveiled during the Nintendo Treehouse livestream, but for the purpose of this top 5, I'm going to limit it to what we ourselves experienced, because there is nothing like seeing something for yourself as you play a game. As such, here is our top 5 favorite Breath of the Wild moments based upon our hands-on experience.
Open your eyes.
Number 5. Link's Resurrection. I know it doesn't seem like much, and I was aware of this just like most of you before I ever got my hands on the game, but there is nothing quite like holding that controller in your hand, wearing headphones to block out all of the noise around you, and watching it all unfold right before your eyes. Link's Resurrection is brief, but within that moment, you get the realization of voice acting and a story for Link unlike anything we have ever experienced before. I've always adored story in the Zelda series, so it was a true treat to experience a completely new and fresh perspective on the start of a game. That is, if you can ignore the fact that Link is waking up yet again. The Zelda series tropes are real. Number 4. The freedom of climbing. I've been a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series, so in a nutshell, I am pretty well versed on what to expect with climbing mechanics. While other games do have better animations for it, such as Uncharted 4, there is a certain freedom to the climbing mechanics in Breath of the Wild that just felt different. The first moment I climbed up a cliff, I was enamored with the possibilities and thrilled to see how this form of exploration encouraged you to make mistakes and learn your limitation. It's a type of learning curve, an explorative force that is truly unique to this game and is something I can't wait to push even further to the limits when the game releases in 2017. Number 3. Letting the world burn. The physics engine in Breath of the Wild is potentially on a whole new level, combining so many different elements that every single encounter, every movement throughout the world feels completely new every time. This is shown off no better than the many ways in which you can use fire. Wind will spread flames naturally. You can light grass on fire with your items that logically would and should start on fire. You can use fire arrows, there is a fire rod, and you can use fire to chain together attacks and explode barrels. But more importantly is how fire spreads and works in a logical, organic method. For once, pyromaniacs have a safe place to truly play with fire. Number 2. A buried guardian will kick your ass. In the demo area, which is stated to be the first area of the game, there are many enemies you can encounter that present a level of challenge. One such enemy is the Guardian, though this one happens to be stuck in the ground. That doesn't change how fearsome it can be, and given that you're limited in the equipment you have at that time, there is a high likelihood you won't have the ability to defeat this foe so early on in the game. However, that won't stop us from trying when the game releases, and we can't wait to get our butts kicked, and then kick some tail ourselves on this enemy yet again. Number 1. Step Talus. The overworld mini-boss Step Talus intrigued us for many reasons. Many on the show floor were able to find him, but almost no one was able to take him down cleanly. In fact, show floor spotters, as in the demo folks guiding you, would tell you to run away and that you can't defeat it. Like the Guardian before us, such words felt like a challenge, one which we were not going to back down from. Unlike the Guardian, this enemy is able to be taken down quite easily if you can figure out what weapons work best. While we heard rumors using a hammer, which you can attain in one of the shrines, does the most damage, we didn't want to waste a moment of our limited demo time to find out. Instead, we charged in after stocking up on weapons, from one group of bokoblins and realize just how fun this encounter can be. It gives off a Shadow of the Colossus vibe, and yet there are multiple approaches to the battle. Once figured out, the beast isn't nearly as daunting as it is the first time you encounter it, but it is an inherently positive step forward that massively encourages a pure open-air design that the developers obviously intended. This is the first time I have ever fought a mini-boss randomly discovered in a Zelda overworld, and as such this fight will stick with me for a long time. That is, of course, until we find even more mini-bosses just like him in the full title. That wraps things up for our top 5 favorite moments in Breath of the Wild based upon our hands-on experience. I want to give a huge shout out to the folks at GameXplain for allowing us to use the direct feed footage of Breath of the Wild. Overall, GameXplain is an excellent channel for Nintendo video coverage, and we highly suggest you check them out. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit subscribe to our channel, or if you hated it, hit that dislike button and rant about it in the comments. If you'd like to see more videos that we've made, I suggest checking out our Zelda Informer podcast, which recently got a massive overhaul I think you're going to like. Seriously, guys, I put in a ton of time on that. And our Zelda Inquiries series, where we answer nothing but fan questions, is always a lot of fun as well. We will have a couple links to the videos right here on your screen. As always, thanks for watching.